Okay. All right. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnan Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Makshaviryajatraha Sthirairangai यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Hare Om. Om. O gods, may we always hear with our ears what is auspicious. O worshipful ones, may we with our eyes always see what is auspicious. May we live our allotted life hale and hearty, offering our worship unto thee. May Indra of ancient fame bestow auspiciousness on all of us. May the all-nourishing portion be propitious to all of us. May Garuda, the destroyer of all evil, be well disposed towards all of us. May Brihaspati ensure all our welfare. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. We are studying the Kaivalya Upanishad. Bhagavan, Parameshti, Brahma himself is giving a knowledge about Brahman to one of the greatest rishis called Ashvalayana. In this Kaivalya Upanishad, we have completed 17 already and 18 also we have completed. 19th we have started, but it is always my custom to go back 1 or 2 mantras back so that the thread will be a connecting thread between what we have heard and what we are going to discuss further. So, Parameshti is giving the teaching that in this whole world, there are only 3 things: karta, karma, kriya, subject, object, and the instrument which connects them, as a result of which we get prama or knowledge. So here, 3 different words are used: bhogyam, bhokta, bhogaha. So bhokta means the person, experiencer. Bhogyam, the object which he wants to experience. Bhogaha. And what is that experience as a result of using instruments called both body and mind? Let us remember always, whenever we are using the instrument, the body by itself cannot give any experience. Mind by itself cannot also give experience. Even in the dream state, even though we say there is no physical body, but the samskaras we gather, the memories that we gather are all gathered only from the waking state through the instrumentality of the 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. So the whole world can be said as only an interaction between the experiencer, the experienced object, and the experience, and the resultant sukha, dukkha, etc. But To understand, there are three states, Trishu Dhamasu, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, waking, dream, and dreamless. Is there any other state? Of course, there is. There is no state, but there is that Brahman called also Turiya. So I was experiencing waking, I was experiencing dream, I was experiencing dreamless. That I is the one moving from one room to the other room. The rooms are changing, the states are changing, but I who is moving is never changing. So I put on three different types of dresses, just as we put on and when I go for playing cricket or any other particular game, football, then I put on a special dress. When I enter into as a doctor, as a lawyer, I put on another dress. And when I go for swimming, I put on a different dress. When I am sleeping, I put on another dress. But I am the one, and there is no change. My dress changes, then my action also changes, my role also changes. Similarly, this is an example. So, waking, dream, dreamless, I am only going through them. And if I am not there, these three states will not even exist because I illumine them. And that is said in the second half of 18th, Tebhyo Vilakshanaha. I am not Jagrat, Swapna, or Sushupti. I am completely opposite to all these three. They are limited. I am unlimited. They are Jada, inert. I am the full of consciousness. But I am a Sakshi. I am only a witness. As I discussed yesterday, Sakshi means not only witness, but the power. Because of the presence of whose power, these three states are possible for the mind. That power am I. I gave the example of a powerful magnet in whose presence, without its doing anything, things get done. Sri Ramakrishna is the example of a king. A king just sits there, but a boss sits there, manager sits there. By his very presence, everybody becomes alert and perform. And who am I? Chit matraha aham. I am pure consciousness. Chit. When I am acting through these three roles, waker, dreamer, and sleeper, then I am Chidabhasa. When I am completely free from all these, I am not even a Sakshi, because Sakshi is the title, and there is Sakshyam, something to be witnessed. But when I withdraw into myself, Chidabhasa will not be there. Only Chit will be there. I am that pure consciousness. Sada Shivaha. Shiva means auspiciousness, or it is called pure Ananda, unbroken bliss. This we had discussed. Then, what is the resultant of this knowledge? If I am pure consciousness, I am ever aware. Then what happens? That something is born, I am witness to that. That we understand. You witness the birth of your brother, your sister, or your friend, or your enemy, it doesn't matter. But what about your own birth? Do you witness? Yes, because you simply say, I was in the unmanifested, now I have come into the manifested. How do we know? Because we use particularized words appropriate to that situation. I am born. And what is the contrast? I was not born. I am unborn means I am in the unmanifest state. I am born, is the manifest state, but I comes first. I always means Sakshi. I always means pure awareness. So that is what being said. Sakalam jatam mai eva. When I am present, everything is born. And as long as I am present, everything remains. And when what happens to all that? Even I witness their birth and their sustenance and their dissolution. All the three I am witnessing. That means without me, there is no world. World cannot be born. World cannot be sustaining. World cannot also go back to its cause. So I am the witness of cause and effect. The whole birth, growth, and death is nothing but cause manifesting as effect, remaining for some time, and then going back into the cause. Like, for example, a bubble, a wave in the ocean. Without ocean, the wave has no existence. But it is born as if for some time it pretends I am separate from you. You are big, I am small, etc. But after few seconds, that's why we say burst like a bubble. So the bubble merges in the wave merges. This continuous process arising of the wave, staying for a short time, and going back. That is why we use in Sanskrit Kshana Banguram. Jivitam Kshana Banguram. Bangu means bubble. So it is only for a moment. What is the moment? It is just one blink of a second. So Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example. Shiva and Parvati were there on the Mount Kailasa. And suddenly there's a big sound, dum, like that. And Parvati was startled. She asked, Lord, what is that sound? Ravana is born. Dum. Next second. What is this sound? Ravana is dead. So for them, it is only ksham, like in our dream state. So suppose you witness a baby is born and she is the apple of everybody's eye and becomes grown, becomes old, and one day you also attend that person's funeral, perhaps thinking that how come I am older than this fellow? The krama should be me first. So how many seconds does it take for you to reach America or to reach Australia or to reach Mars or to reach Swargaloka? Can you go to Swargaloka in dreams? And I think the only way for you to reach Swargaloka is through the dreams only. There is no other way because it requires tremendous amount of punya karma, dharma karma. So I must be there, and that I is called limited consciousness, chidabhasa, limited by the mind, limited by the body. But all the time, wherever there is chidabhasa, there will be chit. That is what was said earlier. Chinmatroham sadashivaha. Same thing. The whole universe. We are not talking about one particular object. The whole universe comes into existence. How? As soon as we wake up from the deep sleep, where was the world? There was no world. The whole world, as if entered into the unmanifest. As soon as I become awake, aware, the whole world comes into play. And it continues until I am aware of it. And then I enter into pure mental activity called Swapna Jagat. And then that comes to an end. That is the end of the known world. Since there is no world, the Sukha Dukkha that belong to the world also disappear. And that going beyond Sukha Dukkha is called Ananda. And so long as I am in the deep states, deep sleep state, I experience that Ananda for quite some time from the viewpoint of the waking state, of course. I went to bed at 11 o'clock and woke up at 5 or 6. So I did not know anything in between. So such a long time is a very, very rare thing. That is one time that when we forget the world. But is there a time when I transcend even the Chidabhasa? Yes. When a thought comes to an end, that is the death of the thought. When another thought starts, that is the birth of another thought. In between, there is a borderline, and that borderline may be for a short second, but very peculiar idea. I will explore it, just hint at it. We say that, that it is only the death of one thought and the beginning of another thought is a very short duration. When we are saying that I had a long, deep sleep, from which point of view are we talking, long or short? Is it from the deep sleep point or is it from the waking point? It's only always from the waking point. Going beyond waking and remains going beyond time. So when we are in timeless, we don't count time. Counting time is possible only when time has started, in waking as well as in dream. So how much time did we really sleep? We should never say, I slept 6 hours. We should not say, I slept only for a second, because that is indescribable. Same thing let us apply to in between two thoughts. We should never say, only from the thought point of view. So that was the last thought. In between, just a fluttering of the eyelid, closing of the eyelid. This is only from the waking point of, not from the experiential of Chit. Only Chit will remain. And that Chit has a name, in fact, two names. That is Brahma. Brahman, not Srishtikarta Brahma. I am Advayam. Dvaya means what? Manifoldness. Manifoldness means time, space, and causation. Going beyond the limitation of time, space, and causation is called Advaya. Dvaita doesn't mean two, it means many. In fact, Sri Ramakrishna says, if you are aware of one, you are aware of the many also. Advayam, aham, asmi. So aham, advayam, Brahma. In me alone, everything is born. In me alone, does everything exist. And in me alone, is everything dissolved. What do you mean by I? Chinmatro. That is awareness all the time. I am that non-dual Brahman. So why is it? The beautiful explanation. The effects which are waking, dream, dreamless, can never remain away from their cause. They're all born from their cause and they exist in their cause. And even if the manifested effects were to end their particular expressions, they can merge back only to become one with their cause. Simple example. An ornament is made out of gold. So gold is the cause, ornament is the effect. Is there a special second object called ornament? No, it's nothing but pure gold only. Then what is the distinction? Previously, the gold was shapeless, therefore nameless, therefore not what is called purposeless. But if you have made a necklace, then it has acquired a specific form, and to distinguish it from other forms, we give it a specific name, and it can be only worn and the neck. That is all. But all the time, there is no second object called necklace. It is nothing but pure gold only. Gold without any name, form, quality, and gold with name, form, and quality. So if it is without form, we cannot distinguish it. Therefore, it is called cause. And when it can be distinguished, we call it an effect. So this whole universe is nothing but pure consciousness with name and form, which Vidyaranya prefers to call Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Nama, and Rupa. 5. And what is the Brahman? World only with Asti, Bhati, Priya, but without Nama Rupa is Brahman. Brahman with Nama Rupa and Asti, Bhati, Priya is called the world. That's all. So I am that Brahman, I am Advaya, and I am that pure consciousness. This is what we discussed in our yesterday's class. Then we move on to the 20th. Actually, as I mentioned, these are all for the sake of manana. What is the Shravana? Aham Brahmasmi. Tadeva Tvam, Tvameva Tat. That was the Mahavakya we discussed earlier. These are all for the sake of manana. And as I said, Kaivalya Upanishad is only echoing the best gems from various Upanishads have been taken, and that is what is also happening here. So in the 20th mantra, Anoraniyan ahameva tadvat, mahan aham, vishram aham, vichitram, puratanoham, purusho aham, ishaha, hiranmaya aham, shiva rupam asmi. This is nothing but again an echo of what we had already discussed. What is it? I am smaller than the smallest, and also I am the most vast. It is instead of saying Mahato Mahiyan, simply he said Mahan Aham. That's all. Slight change of the words to suit the meter, Vedic meter. I am the amazing manifold universe. I am the ancient one, the Purusha, the supreme ruler am I, the effulgent one by nature, and ever auspicious. Let us analyze this, but it is not too difficult at all. Anu, we have to imagine that the smallest thing that can be conceived by the mind is called Anu. So do not translate it as atom, because now scientists, and especially some people who have studied a little bit of smattering of science, they're apt to say, no, no, you are old timer. Now this atom also has been broken into pieces, became particles, then it became pockets of energy. So this is how the latest is pockets of energy. And what is that pockets of energy? So they understand when they confront their angry wife, they understand what is called this pocket of energy. After all, don't forget, even the greatest scientist also had to be given some cooked food. So the smallest thing that mind is capable of imagining, call it particle, call it a small pocket, whatever you call it, that is called Anu. So, Anoraniya, why is it telling? There is a law how knowledge can be propagated, spread, conveyed to others. Always this law, we know it, we have to keep in mind. Anything to be conveyed to somebody who doesn't know has to be conveyed through something he has already known. Many, many times I have given the example. This is one, again, repetition. Suppose somebody has never tasted a sweetmeat. How to make that person understand what is this sweetmeat? You can never make him understand 100%. What you can say is, supposing this person is growing in a jungle. And in that jungle also, everywhere these bees will be creating their own hives and they will be producing honey. They transform the nectar of the flowers into honey. And we merely go and then steal them. And we sugar feed them. So once this person had tasted, or he tasted some kind of sweet fruit, so that is easier example. Then how did you like that honey? So it's very good. That's why I'm always in such a pit. I want to eat it again and again. But supposing a person is growing in an island where only bitter gourd grows, how do you convey the idea of sweetness? Because bitter gourd also undergoes several changes. So the most bitterness will be at a particular stage. Most often is before that, it won't be so bitter. So have you tasted that bitterness? How is it? Oh, it's all comparative, you know. So compared to when it ripens after a few days, this bitterness is very, very pleasant, tolerable, comparative. Tolerable means what? Very sweet. So you see, a sweet meat is much, much superior, 100,000 times better than that. But I think, according to our understanding, so everybody has a taste of either a fruit or a vegetable. Are there vegetables which are sweet? Absolutely. There is a squash, and it is called foreign squash. I don't know why I never got it. Foreign squashes are tasteless squashes. But I will. So the what is called gourds. We know what is called pumpkin and village pumpkins. How sweet that curry will be, that sweetness. Or if somebody is growing sugar cane, so you break it and then you eat. Or sometimes sweet corn, extraordinary tasty sweet corn, especially Americans, we have to admire them. They grow very much that sweet corn. So we all admired that sweet corn. Sweetness is there. Of course, India doesn't lack sweetness. Oh, we have got first class rasalu. Mangoes are there, so sweet. Every region produces its own speciality, and all are incomparably sweet. Somebody once asked me in Italy, how come God again and again incarnates only in India? So I said there are two reasons. One reason is who knows better than God that the best mangoes grow only in India. That's why he comes again and again. And the second reason is once he had a curiosity to visit the West, and he came in the West as Jesus Christ. And you fellows gave such a treatment. No, he said, no more coming in the Western countries. India is the safest country, free from all terrorists and all those gundas in this world. Hamas people are not present there. So that is why he comes. Now, what I am trying to tell you, how can knowledge be conveyed? Only from the known to the unknown. That is why marvelous, vichitram. What is that marvelous thing? That when we are babies, how much our parents love us. We learn how to be loved without any expectation of return, niswarth. Because when we are children, babies, accepting trouble to the mother and father, especially to the mother, we are nothing. It is not a bundles of joy. So, but why did God make us? Because parents are taught. You have to learn slowly to extend this unsolicited love, unexpected love, unreturnable love. You have a right to love, but you don't have any right to expect it back. They learn it. Everything in this world is to teach us a good lesson. But the other one is someone has to teach us so that when we have children, in our turn, what we have learned, we learn to give it back. That is how evolution takes place. So from the known to the unknown. That is why Sri Ramakrishna never condemned, Vedas never condemned any ashrama. It is only the useless Advaitins who go on condemning. Grihastha ashrama is a terrible state. No, no. Grihastha ashrama, it is you have become a sannyasi only because of a Grihastha ashrama. You learned how to love your children. Increase that love. And when that love, increased love, doesn't produce the expected results, when the children doesn't return, neglect us, or even if they return, they cannot really help us. Then helplessly we turn towards God, direct all our learned love to gather it, to unify it, to harmonize it, and to direct it towards God alone. Then we enter into Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha is like the silkworm preparing a cocoon so that it can become burst out into the full-fledged, colorful butterfly. And through contemplation, we transform ourselves into that butterfly. But Vanaprastha is the cocoon. We have to build around ourselves so that we are not disturbed in any way. But the cocoon is there to protect us from the external threats. But inside, we are growing all the time to become full-fledged, beautiful butterflies. There is no other insect which is as beautiful as a butterfly. So, this is the purpose of Grihasthashram. First, learn from the Guru, especially staying with the Guru, what is the blueprint for life, how to behave. Satyam vada, dharmam chara, swadhyaya ma pramadaha, matru pitru karyabhyam na pramaditavyam, matru devo bhava, pitru devo bhava, acharya devo bhava, atidhi devo bhava, etc. So this is how we learn. And that what we learn must we put it into practice. That is the speciality of Grihastha. Experiment, experience, evolve further until we enter into the third stage called that creating a cocoon. That is called Vanaprastha. And if we do it properly, we grow and then we come out as full-fledged sannyasins who become atyashramis. It is not a mechanical process, it's an evolution, gradual evolution of the pure consciousness. So here the sage Parameshti himself is telling that if you can conceive of the smallest thing, I am even smaller than that smallest. If you can conceive a huge mountain, so this is also comparative degree. What is it? When you say this is a big mosquito, small mosquito compared to that big mosquito is much more in volume. When you say that this is a small dog, but this is an elephant, how huge this elephant is. It's a comparative degree. When you say this is small hill, this is a huge mountain. We are not talking that kind of bigness. We are talking that which contains everything within it. So it is said, Markandeya Rishi, he had seen Bhagavan Krishna, a Vichitra Purusha, breathing in and out. And Markandeya had felt drawn inside the, what is called, in breath. He went inside. And then he saw a huge Brahmanda, in Bhagavan Krishna's stomach. That is why Kali Rudare Brahmanda Bhando Prakandata Jano Keman Mahakal Jene Chen Kaliru Mormo. Only God knows how big it is. And then he enters in that Brahmanda. There are innumerable, uncountable Brahmandas are there. And one of them is our cosmos. In that cosmos, our solar system is one. In that solar system, our Earth is even like a speck if you draw a map. And in that, India cannot be seen. In that, we have got this Varanasi. But what a marvelous country. What a marvelous city. Here Shiva will give mukti. So what are we talking about? Anoraniyan ahameva tadvat. Exactly. Not only the smaller than the smallest, it means unimaginable. Mahanaham, unimaginably huge. That means the whole universe is contained. Now, where is this universe contained? We have to get it from the earlier mantra. Chinmatroham, chit, consciousness. So the world comes out of consciousness. The world is alive so long as I'm aware of it. And the moment I withdraw my consciousness, awareness, the whole world disappears. That is what we have seen. Mayeva sakalam jatam. Mayi sarvam pratishtitam. Mayeva layam yati sarvam. That is what he is telling. Vishwamaham vichitram. Vichitram means what? Every second it is changing all the time. That is called vichitram. Everything. That is why ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam ascharyavat vadati. And Arjuna was given such a Vishwarupa, like a kaleidoscope. He could not bear it because there will be Srishti, there will be Sthiti, there will be Laya, everything will be there. Vichitram. That means so amazing. We have to exercise our imagination to understand what is the meaning of this Vichitram Vishwa. And Purandaradasa gives a small hint. There was a huge rock, so hard, even it's difficult to break it. In the midst of that rock, there is a small space. In that space, billions of creatures are living there in their own world. They are fighting like Hamas and Israel people. And God is supplying even food to them. So Srishti, Sthiti, Laya going on all the time. That is the Vichitra. Scientists have discovered they never thought it's possible for life to exist. Where? In the coldest regions of the world. And they drilled. What do they find? There were creatures, microbes, so small, but they're all alive with life. Life means consciousness. Consciousness means this is my friend, this is my enemy. They form colonies and they fight with each other, and no less than any human society. In case we are inclined to think man is great, that is only our ahankara. Because every creature thinks I am the greatest. But the root cause of everything is pure consciousness. So aham vichitram vishwam, which is amazing, and this amazement is changing every second. Puratanoham. Puratana means very ancient. Ancient means what? Anadi. Anadi means I'm birthless, I'm causeless, I'm also effectless, I'm unborn. That is Puratana. Purushaha. Purusha means what? So he who is pervading everywhere is called Purusha. And he is also occupying this Puram. Bhagavad Gita is an essence of all the Upanishads. It says, Navadvare Puri Dehi Naiva Kurvan Na Karayan. Every body, every mind, is a Pura. That is why Shiva got the name, as I explained, is called Purari, Purahara. That is destroyer of the Puras. How many Puras? There is a Sthula Sharira, there is a Sukshma Sharira, there is a Karana Sharira. Is it only confined to human beings? No. To everybody, even the smallest insect, we don't know anything about them. They will be having what is called gross body. They're small. Their mind may be small, like baby's mind, but there will be a mind which is called Sukshma Sharira, and they will have Karana Sharira. How do you know there is a Karana Sharira? Because they encounter situations and they learn their lesson, they develop their own samskaras, and next time when such a situation confronts them, immediately they remember, oh, last time I encountered, I was about to be squashed, so this is how I escaped. Immediately it comes into play, and where is the samskara hidden? Karana Sharira. So we have to be humble. How much we have to accept, how much we are ignorant. We think that human being is the greatest. Of course, from one point of view, it is true. But God is manifesting, sporting, doing Leela. So this is being expressed here. Aham Purushaha. I am all pervading. Means what? Nothing else exists excepting me. Therefore, I am Ishaha. Just as clay pervades every single product of clay, gold pervades every single product of gold, and wood pervades every single piece of furniture. That is called Isha, means what? Not like a dictator ruling over, but without whose presence the very existence of that thing will not be there. If you remove gold from an ornament, the ornament itself will not remain at all. And Hiranmayaha means what? I'm the throbbing, pure, shining, enlightening consciousness. When Sri Ramakrishna visited Kashi, he saw golden Kashi. So immediately don't rush and then try to find out gold. What it means is pure sattva guna. Millions and millions of sadhakas are doing so much of tapasya silently. Genuine people don't come out. They even pretend to be mad. Aham Hiranmayaha or Virat Purushaha. Aham Sutratma. Or you can say, I am Brahma. Different names for Brahma, Saguna Brahma. What are they? Ishvaraha, Hiranya Garbhaha, Virat Purushaha. These are different names. Aham Shivarupam Asmi. I am none other than pure consciousness, pure knowledge, pure Sat, Chit, Anandam. And another name for that, Sat, Chit, Ananda, is called Shivam because everything leads to happiness, more happiness, and most happiness. This is the meaning of this 20th mantra. I am smaller than the smallest. Also, I am the most vast. I am the manifold universe. Amazing. I am the ancient one, the Purusha, the supreme ruler, am I. The effulgent one, by nature ever auspicious. We have to be very cautious. When we say he the ruler, immediately we remember our state government, central government. No, that would be gross misunderstanding of the word. Ishvara means without whose presence, whose existence, anything not, or nothing exists at all. That is called Ishvara. He is the Antaryami. It is also called he is the Antaryami. So that is it. Purayate Sarvam iti Purushaha. One who pervades everywhere. Or Purav Asti iti Purushaha. That is, or he is there because of whom we become conscious of the Stula, Sukma Sariras. That is called Purusha. That is why Purusha Suktam. This particular verse is only a reflection of that one. I am that Purusha. Hiranmayaha. That is I am pure Sattva Guna, as I manifest as the Srishtikarta, Stitikarta, Layakarta. I am Hiranyagarbha, I am Virat Purusha, I am Ishvara, and I am Shivaha, ever auspicious, because it's a word, profound meaning. What is the meaning? Whatever happens, somebody is cutting the throat of somebody. Is it an auspicious act? Yes, it is an auspicious act. We have to understand, because he who thinks that he is the killer, he who thinks he is the killed. Yayenam veti hantaram, ischainam manyate hatam, ubhau tau na vijanitaha, nayam manti nahanit. Atman is the only thing. And who is the killer? Who is the killed? We have to be very careful. That's why everything is Leela. That is why Sri Ramakrishna always used to say there are only two things, unmanifest and manifest, Nitya and Leela, nothing else. So, this is one of the most beautiful mantras for us to think about. With this, the what, what is called first part of the what is called first khanda, Prathama khanda, is almost over. Some people take it as beginning of the second khanda also, this 20th, but I have taken it as part of the first khanda only. So, Anu Raniyan, Ahameva Tadvat Mahan, Aham Vishram, Aham Vichitram, Puratano Aham, Purusho Aham, Isha Aham, Hiranmaya Aham, Shivam Rupam Asmi. I am the most auspicious thing in the world. Then we move on, what they call second khanda or second chapter, second part, which is 21st verse. Apanipado aham achintya shakti pashyami achakshuh sa shrunomi akarnaha aham vijanami vivikta rupaha nachasti vetta mama chit sadaham. I am without hands and legs. I am of incomprehensible power. I see without eyes. I hear without ears. Devoid of all forms. I am all knowing. I know everything. And there is none that knows me. I am ever pure knowledge. We will discuss this one in a slight detail. Apani padaha. Pani means hand. I don't have any hand, but I grasp everything. Apadaha. So I do not have any legs, but I am everywhere. Aham achintya shakti. I am of that power, that energy. Achintyaha. As it is said, eto vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. Devotees of Sri Ramakrishna also, every day they sing, Namo Namo Prabhu, Vakya Mana Atita, Mana Vachana Ek Adhar. This particular 21st mantra is, a little more elaboration of these two lines that comes. Namo Namo, salutations, O Lord, Vakya Mana Atita, your indescribable, Achintya Shakti. But Shakti, Shakti means always active. And Shakti also means pure consciousness. That's why Tantra uses a very particular word. It is called Chit Leela. Chit Shakti, Chit Leela. Very beautiful coined words, two words. Chit Shakti means Chit itself has two aspects. The Nitya aspect of Chit is called Chit, and the Leela aspect of Chit is called Shakti. I have also quoted earlier, if you still remember, is worth remembering. Shiva Shaktya Yukto, Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum, Nache Devam Shakya Khalu Spanditum Api. If Shiva, energy, Maya, Shakti, is not united with Shiva, then even Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they are incapable of doing anything. That is why it's called Sa Guna. Guna means Shakti. Guna also means Prakriti. So, Sri Ramakrishna says, when I try to think of without activity the reality, when I try to think of reality without any attributes, I call it Brahman. But when I think of Srishti Sthiti Vinasha, activity, I call it Shakti. That is, there is no difference between Nirguna and Saguna. Depends upon how I look. Very interesting. And this is also worth pondering over. What is it? Really is Brahman creating? Or is it the play, the trick played by my mind? But sometimes Brahman creates, sometimes he doesn't create. So I choose to call Brahman without activity as Brahman, and the same Brahman with activity as Shakti. Shakti is with activity, Brahman is without activity. Because the very constituent element of the mind is you cannot think of one guna without its opposite guna. Good. If you don't know what is evil, you will never know what is good. If we do not know what is white, we will not know what is a color. If we do not know what is life, we will never know what is death, and vice versa. If we do not know what is unhappiness, we never know what is happiness. This is called dvandva. This is the very nature of the mind. So even to think this is Saguna Brahma, this is Nirguna Brahma, is a part of this one only. So when we see this one, who is really doing it? For example, when we go to sleep, when to bed, and when we dream. So are you grasping something? Are you holding something? Yes. And what type of hands you are using? No. Are you running in your dream? Then how are you running? Do you have legs there? No. Your very thought is doing that one. Not mere thought, but thought combined with Chit Shakti or awareness, Chidabhasa, in other words. So, apani padaha aham achintya Shakti. Whatever a person can do with hands and feet, that means with all the organs of action. That is indicated with these two, pani and pada, hands and feet. Then organ of generation, organ of evacuation, etc. All these five organs of action, or etc., we call it, they are indicated by the half of the first line. Second half is the indication of the mind. That is the Gnanendriyas. Pashyami achakshuhu, sa srunomi akarnaha. Brahman doesn't have ears, but he hears everything. Brahman doesn't have any eyes, he sees everything. Because how can he see without eyes? Because the object to be seen is he himself. And the object which gives knowledge of through sound, that object himself is he. For example, there is a drum, and we are aware of the existence of the drum only when we hear that sound of the drum. But if I am the drum, I am 100% of the time, 100%, I am aware I am the drum. I don't need to sound. I don't need to see. I don't need to touch, etc. So all the five sense organs, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, I can do it because I am pure knowledge. What is the purpose of all these organs of action and organs of knowledge? To give us knowledge. And who is Brahman? The very manifestation of Brahman. Does he need then all those things? No, we need them because our mind is limited, body is limited. But the all pervading Brahman is nothing but pure consciousness. He doesn't need all these things. And then, aham vijanami. I know everything without the help of these instruments. Vivikta rupaha. I am formless actually. So, Rajasti Veta. There is nobody who can know me. Why? Because there is nobody. I am the only one. I am Advaya. So the question of somebody coming to know, here is some psychology involved. If there are two people, the knowledge of both of them is limited because they can never be. What is the theory of knowledge? The moment we forget ourselves, we become identified with the another object. If we are identified 10%, our knowledge will be 10%. If I am identified 50%, my knowledge of that object will be 50%. And if I am identified 100%, then I know I am a table, I am a tree, I am a animal. Full knowledge will be there. So that is what is indicated. Nobody can know me, but I know everything. Aham vijanami sarvam. We have to add that word sarvam. It is not here. And then nachasti veta mama. There is nobody who can know me. Chit sadaham. Then who am I? Pure consciousness. You can call it pure knowledge, pure awareness. Ramakrishna uses a beautiful word. Pure mind and pure Atman are exactly one and the same, because there is nothing to distinguish what is called pure mind. Pure mind means what? Pure mind is no mind. Pure Atman is no Atman, because this is pure, this is not pure, this is 50% pure, this is 100% pure. All these things. Who is leveling these things? With the function of the mind. When there is no mind, who is to say this is pure or impure or anything? That is what he says. Mama, nachasti veta mama. There is nobody who can know me, because there is only one way. If any person becomes me, Brahmavid, Brahma eva bhavati. But who am I? Sada aham chit. I am the pure consciousness all this time. These are beautiful, what is called nuggets of knowledge, which we are supposed to meditate upon. And what is the purpose? Then our ahankara will disappear. Pure aham will remain. This is the methodology. Whether you are a bhakta or a gnani. These beautiful thoughts are there. We will discuss about them in our next class. Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. May the Ramakrishna Holy Mother and Swami Vivekananda bless us all with bhakti. Ramakrishna.